You must obey the Cobra Commander, giving out the order for fun. You must obey the Cobra Commander. You know that he's the only one. Why am I referencing Electric Six? I don't even like that band. Now listen up lads, this is the good stuff right here. When we talk about the Mega CD, it's impossible not to mention the multitude of full motion video games for the system. But no other developer contributed more to that scene than Wolf Team, who we previously saw in action with their port of Time Gal. Wolf Team also ported Road Avenger to the system, and they also ported the topic of today's video, Cobra Command, to the Mega CD as well. Cobra Command started life as a 1984 Laserdisc game developed by Data East, much like Road Avenger. In Cobra Command you have to pilot a fictional LC-3FX helicopter and travel the globe to tackle terrorism by shooting at enemy forces as they invade various locales. The in-game action of Cobra Command is a little more involved than most FMV titles, as you control a reticule and have to fire at enemies with the use of a Vulcan cannon that can overheat, or a missile which doesn't overheat and has a slower rate of fire. Generally, I favour just using the missile all the time because it doesn't overheat, and the slower rate of fire doesn't seem to stop you hitting all the enemies, so I'm not sure why you even have the option to choose a different weapon, but it's there even if the variety is superficial. However, you're not just firing on enemies, because at certain points in the stage you also need to make tight turns, and a big flashing arrow will indicate which way you need to move the cursor in order to not collide with anything. The action is surprisingly fast and aggressive, and Wolf Team have done another fantastic job of adapting the original animation by Toei so that it makes better use of the limited colour palette of the Mega CD and is easier to read as a result. There's still a fair bit of dithering here, but what do you expect on a 16-bit console? This is basically as good as it gets when it comes to video quality on the Mega CD. The footage is also framed with a sort of virtual helicopter cockpit, which does a great job of selling the in-game action as a genuine first-person experience as you fly around the different locations shooting the ever-loving hell out of anything that would dare to threaten our freedoms. The presentation is genuinely off the chain, and the animation is really well done. It's coupled with an absolutely brilliant soundtrack that complements the intense action perfectly. I mean, listen to this opening theme, what a banger! What's interesting is the soundtrack and dub for this Mega CD version are entirely unique and completely different to the arcade version and later PS1 and Saturn ports. I honestly feel like it's a better fit for the game, and it's such a shame that it's entirely locked to the Mega CD version. You also have a little radio buddy that pipes up from time to time and is generally quite helpful in the sections where you have to manoeuvre the helicopter through a series of tight turns as he calls out the directions alongside the arrow indicator. Playing Cobra Command again for this video just reminded me how much fun I used to have with this back in the day, and surprisingly it still holds up well even now. It's so effortlessly cool, the visuals are great, the soundtrack rocks, and the action is wonderfully visceral and loud. Strangely, the UK version of Cobra Command was never given an individual release, and was only ever sold bundled together with Soul Feast in a 2-pack, which for my money is a pretty solid get if you were a Mega CD owner looking to bulk up your collection. Either way, if you have any interest in FMV games, then give Cobra Command a go, because it might be my favourite FMV title on the Mega CD, even if it isn't as iconic as something like Road Avenger or Night Trap. It's just so cool!
That's their island base. Let's knock them out. They're right.